The most dangerous thing in the NFL right now isn't a blitz package, a hot quarterback, or even a surprise playoff run. It's the illusion that everything is fine when it absolutely is not. And that illusion is exactly what exploded across the league after what we just witnessed from the Broncos, the Chiefs, the Lions, the Vikings, and the Cowboys, because beneath the highlights and the final scores was something far more unsettling. A reality check that hit some of the league's most recognizable franchises right in the chest. And if you weren't paying attention, you missed the moment where entire seasons quietly slipped away, while others barely held themselves together with tape and pride. This wasn't just another Sunday of football. This was exposure. This was reckoning. This was the moment where narratives cracked and reputations got tested in real time. The Broncos didn't just beat the Chiefs. They stared directly into the soul of a dynasty that suddenly looks mortal. The Lions didn't just lose a game. They collapsed under the weight of expectations they never learned how to carry. And the Cowboys somehow, once again, found themselves winning while still looking like a team that doesn't know who it really is. That's the uncomfortable truth no one wants to say out loud, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. This wasn't chaos. This was clarity, and it exposed everything. Now let's get into exactly why this moment has the entire NFL world buzzing. Because what unfolded wasn't just football, it was a referendum on identity, pressure, and survival. The Broncos walked into a matchup against Kansas City, knowing full well what was at stake. The Chiefs, wounded but proud, still clinging to that championship DNA, still leaning on Travis Kelce, possibly for the last time at Arrowhead. And Denver, a team still fighting for legitimacy, had everything to prove. Early on, the game told a familiar story. Turnovers, red zone tension, missed opportunities, and then moments of brilliance that flipped momentum without warning. Bo Nix didn't play perfect, but he played fearless. He moved the offense, absorbed pressure, and when it mattered most, he delivered. That's what separated this game. It wasn't domination, it was resilience. And when Denver finally took control, when they sealed that comeback, it wasn't just a win, it was a statement that this team refuses to be dismissed anymore. But the emotional gravity of that game wasn't just about Denver. It was about Kansas City staring at the possibility of an ending. Watching Travis Kelce linger on the field, soaking in the moment, understanding what that stadium has meant to him, it felt heavier than a regular season loss. It felt like closure creeping in, and when you hear the discussion around whether this could be his final season, it's not disrespectful, it's honest. He's given everything. He's accomplished everything. And when legends reach this stage, the hardest part isn't performance. It's accepting that the body and the moment don't always align anymore. That's why this loss hit differently. Not because of standings, but because it felt like time catching up. And while that was unfolding, chaos erupted elsewhere. In Detroit, the dream officially died. The Lions entered the season with expectations that bordered on belief. This was supposed to be the year it all came together. Instead, it unraveled in the most brutal way possible. 6 turnovers. 6. That's not bad luck. That's collapse. That's pressure exposing cracks that were always there. Jared Goff didn't just have a bad game, he unraveled. And when your quarterback unravels, everything goes with him. The turnovers, the missed reads, the inability to protect the football. It snowballed until the game was gone and the season with it. The Vikings didn't dominate them physically. They waited for Detroit to self-destruct. And that's exactly what happened. And when Dan Campbell spoke afterward, you could hear it. Not anger, not excuses, but the weight of knowing this was supposed to be different. That the window everyone believed in slammed shut without warning. And that's the cruel reality of this league. One year you're the feel-good story. The next year you're the cautionary tale. Injuries, inconsistency, pressure, it all compounds. The Lions couldn't run the ball. They couldn't protect the quarterback. They couldn't protect the football. And when those 3 things disappear, no amount of belief saves you. That's how seasons end quietly, not with fireworks, but with frustration. Then you pivot to Dallas, and somehow, the story gets even more complicated. Because the Cowboys won. They did what they were supposed to do. Dak Prescott threw for over 300 yards again. Another multi-touchdown performance. Another reminder that statistically, historically, he's one of the most productive quarterbacks this franchise has ever had. And yet, even in victory, the questions don't stop. Because the Cowboys don't look dominant. They look strained. They look like a team surviving rather than imposing its will. And that's the paradox that follows Dak everywhere he goes. He produces, but the environment around him keeps screaming instability. The Commanders pushed them. They ran the ball. They made plays. They forced Dallas to answer. And Dak answered again and again. Big throws, timely decisions, a sixth 300-yard game. Yet the defense leaked. The margins stayed thin, and the conversation didn't shift to celebration. It shifted to concern. Because once again, Dallas looked like a team that needs everything to go right just to stay afloat. And that's not a championship formula. What ties all of this together is the same underlying truth. The NFL doesn't care about potential. It doesn't care about narratives. It exposes you exactly where you are. The Broncos showed grit. The Chiefs showed vulnerability. The Lions showed fragility. And the Cowboys showed that even when they win, they're still fighting themselves. That's why this moment matters. Because these games didn't just decide wins and losses. They revealed ceilings. And the scariest part for some of these teams is that the answers aren't easy. Denver still has to prove consistency. Kansas City has to prepare for a future without one of its pillars. Detroit has to figure out how a season with so much promise unraveled so fast. And Dallas has to confront the reality that talent alone isn't enough, and that their window might not be as wide as they keep pretending it is. This is the NFL at its rawest. No safety nets, no excuses, just pressure, exposure, and consequences. And if you're watching closely, you can already see which teams are rising, which ones are fading, and which ones are trapped in the most dangerous place of all, thinking they're closer than they really are.